Tonight,
I'll be pushing as hard as I can.
Shannan,
This is last chance training.
Michelle,
These guys are going to have to grind it out.
and the commando
My motto, no excuses.
crank it up.
What are we getting tired? No, sir.
Plus, at the weigh-in,
That's a gain of 500 grams.
which contestant
This is big.
gains weight?
What the hell is going on?
Arriving at Camp Biggest Loser today, I was pumped up for last chance training. I just hoped there were no surprises.
Morning, you guys. When we found the contestants in the lounge room, they all looked pretty happy, although I got the feeling very quickly that they had something they needed to tell us. What's been going on?
Well, we had a temptation, which Hayley introduced to us as a room of food heaven.
I was feeling pretty nervous about telling Michelle what I ate at Temptation, and I knew it wasn't good, and I knew she wouldn't take it well.
I'm looking like Rick did.
The fact that Rick's not looking at us.
Yeah.
Dave's looking me in the eye. What's with that? I don't know if I'm ready for this.
You ready? I was a little bit peckish, so I went in and I ate a hamburger, a sausage roll, a donut, a Leamington, hot chips, and 2 drinks, and another burger.
And sauce.
And sauce.
Rick's list of what he'd eaten during temptation read like a teenager whose parents have gone away for the weekend.
How many? 3,000?
Very close. That's what I was aiming for, but 2,790.
Wow, that's that's cooking it up. And did you get immunity?
Yep. I was a bit ashamed of the fact that I'd eaten 2,700 calories to get immunity, but I was also proud of the fact that I'm going to be here for another week. I wasn't tempted by the food. I went in there to get immunity.
Okay. Well, I guess at this point of the game, you know, I know that there's still the old training alliances in there, and you guys are down to 2 against 3, so I can understand why you'd want to go for immunity, and I can understand it, especially with that bracelet on your wrist. So let's go burn it off, huh?
We're going to the big gym.
You boys upstairs.
We headed into the big gym with Shannan for last chance training. Today's a day where we need to burn every single existing calorie because weigh-in can come down to, you know, the minutest amount of weight.
Last chance training, we've got the big gym. Now we've just got to get stuck into it. 10 kilometres on the spin bike. 5 kilometres on the cross trainer. 600 punches and 300 crunches each. Doable? Here's the crunch. 60 minutes.
Shannan always likes to say that he doesn't ask us to do anything that he doesn't feel we can do. But I reckon this one's going to be a big test for all of us.
This is going to be something extraordinary. This will be the fastest and hardest you guys have ever gone if you can get this done in an hour.
The task Shannan had set us today could be done in any order. We just had to get it done in an hour, so all of us jumped on the spin bike first.
Ready, set, go. You've got an hour, no compensation, no charity, the best you got.
I knew that the spin was probably going to be my worst part of this entire training session.
4.5, good. This is going to be your race, mate. We need something super from you. Phoebe, 3 minutes for 2 Ks. Phoebe, you keep that up. Today's session was all about beating personal bests. We're getting close to the finals and everybody needs to be at their best. No failure here, guys. Everything's a lesson. Let's get everything out of this we can. You're going to have to work your little tails off, but it's all worth it. This is our last chance training.
I want to be here, I want to make Final Four. That's my goal more than ever.
You'll be able to tell if you can get this session done in 60 minutes, I'll know. Because actions are louder than words, and this session's going to take desperation. Bust this out. Show me, I want to see it done in 60 minutes.
5 kilometres on the cross trainer is the one I'm really worried about. That usually takes me over half an hour, so I'm going to have to pull something magic out of the hat today.
Alrighty, guys, it's half time. Phoebe and Lisa looked like they had the distance covered. but I feared it was slipping away from Shannan. Can you get this task done?
That's the plan.
Ooh, I reckon it's going to be close.
I did not want to let Shannan down. I'll be pushing as hard as I can.
This will be your fastest 5Ks ever. 9 minutes, if we're right on track. Got to stay with it. What else you got to get full time here, mate?
I've got to lose more weight, Shan. Because I don't want me to go home. I definitely don't want Lisa and Phoebes to go home. But, unfortunately, I've got a roadblock. And that's Dave. And I'm doing everything I can to make sure he's under that line.
Good boy. Good work.
I've got a job to do. I'm going to get this done. This is going to be finished in 60 minutes.
All right, girls, the battle's on. You're definitely going to get it done within the time, but who's going to come first?
I have never sweated so much in my life. That 5 kilometres on the cross trainer was agony.
Done.
51 minutes, 43 seconds, Phoebes.
I was over the moon. I was dead, but over the moon.
100 metres, Lise. Come on, bust it out. Go nuts. 54-12. Good girl. With time slipping away, Shannan still had to finish 500 metres on the cross trainer and still 100 crunches. Superhuman, mate. Just smash it up.
I want this. I don't want to be the one person here that doesn't finish.
Good boy. Shannan was ready to finish his last 100 crunches with barely 100 seconds left.
9.
Go, Phoebes. 10, next 10. Phoebe and Lisa were right next to him. There's no way they were going to let him do those by himself. No weak links in my team. Shannan, last 10 for 100. 91, 92.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Stop. 58-50.
Now, at the end of the session, covered in sweat and absolutely drained, I've done it. You know, I completed it in under 60 minutes, and I couldn't be happier.
To get that done today, everyone would have done their personal best. Is that right? You guys have proved to me that you've got what it takes to be top 4, and one of you to be top 1.
That's it. Get on your guts, Bill. Crawl. Use your legs. Come on.
Coming up on The Biggest Loser,
We don't want a repeat of last week, do we, Phil? No, sir.
the castaways
Come on.
dig for victory, and a shock result at the weigh-in.
Dana, you weigh 105.2 kilos.
The old me definitely would not have done a photo shoot like this. I only used to take photos from the neck up. I love the way that I look now, and I'm really happy with the results. Get everyone in the 42. Before coming to The Biggest Loser, I didn't really like the way that I looked. I was always covering up, didn't really show off my body, and now I feel completely different. I definitely feel more confident in my body when I go out now. I just look so much more radiant and happy. And I'm never, ever going back to that person. See ya. At the finale, I can't wait to walk out on that stage and say goodbye to The Biggest Loser and hello to the new me.
In the Army, there's no excuses. My motto, no excuses. And I expect the same from Phil and Joe.
Phil, Joe, last chance training. Our job today is to clear a portion of this road. This session is your last shot to put your bodies through some hard training before tonight's weigh-in. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Our first task is to grab that equipment at the far end and get it back to this point. Are we ready for it?
Yes, sir.
Set, go. Let's go, boys. Let's get over it.
Today's training session is all about doing it the hard way.
First thing, the water jerrys. There's 15 kilos in each.
I'm going to grind these boys into the ground. They're going to go back to Camp Biggest Loser as the biggest threats in this competition.
Come on, Phil, let's go, catching up. Push it through, good work. Let's go, Joe. That's it, work together.
Today, I'm going to be on Phil like a rash I want him to pick up his game, and I want him to give it everything that he's got.
That's it. Get on your guts, Phil. Crawl. Use your legs. Come on. Push it through. Together, all right? Let's go. Back to the start. Let's grab those tyres, sledgehammers.
I think 110% for the Commando is really like 1,000%, you know, in anyone else's scale. It is just beyond the Richter for me. It really is.
All right, you got a rope tied around each tyre. There's some loops in there. Let's get them over the shoulders. Let's grab a sledgehammer each. And just to make it a little harder, we've got some added weight in those tyres. Remember, every second counts. Look at that, it's filling up with some sand. That's what I want. Some hard work. Let's go, Phil. Come on, let's go.
I really think the one thing that kept me going in this training session was pride.
Come on, Phil.
It really did shatter me last week. It broke my heart, really, to put that weight on after all the work I'd done.
Last week you weighed 94.1 kilos. This week you weigh 99 kilos.
I'm hoping this week I've turned it around and at least that I can get some negative numbers and just get myself back on track.
All right, grab your sledgehammers. Let's go over here. Next task. We're going to smash down this wall. We're going to make this portion of the road drivable. We ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's get in on it. Working together. Let's crush it down. Come on.
I just looked at it and looked at Phil and went, how are we going to do that? It goes for miles.
Come on, Phil. Put it in.
Yes, sir.
I want more legs.
Watching Phil train today, I realised that he lacks intensity.
We don't want a repeat of last week, do we, Phil?
No, sir.
Come on, Phil. You're using your back. I want you to use your legs.
He may train for long hours and the like, but when it comes to training with me, he's got to have the strength. He's got to have the stamina to be able to persevere and pull through. And a lot of that is in here.
Come on, Phil. You've only been going for about a minute. You're looking pretty tired.
Using the sledgehammers and knocking down some of that roadway really is tough on your hands. I've got blisters all over my hands, you're in the sun, you've got the flies in your face. It's just relentless.
Together for 10.
1,
2,
2,
3.
3,
That's what I want, teamwork.
4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7.
7,
Let's go, 8,
8,
9.
9,
Louder, 10.
10.
Good stuff. Get your hammers down here. All right, so head back to camp, clean yourselves up, and get ready for the weigh-in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Phil and Joe got a good flogging today, but that's only going to make them stronger. And that's only going to show and reflect on the scales tonight.
Next on The Biggest Loser, will the Commandos' tough training pay off on the scales?
Joe, last week you weighed 122.5 kilos. This week you weigh...
Chris, you weigh 128.9 kilos.
Before Biggest Loser, there's not a chance I would have stepped in front of a heap of cameras to take photos, but now I find those sort of things fun.
1-2 again?
The 1-2?
Yeah.
My big issue when coming into Camp Biggest Loser was my stomach. Now I'm extremely happy with the way I look. So I used to have to look for the 5XL shirts, but now I can fit into the large, which is absolutely fantastic. That one's the one that you go, wow, that's what I was, and that's what I now am. My ideal weight for finale would be between 90 to 95 kilos. So I've got about 10 to 14 kilos that I wish to lose. I've been 100% more active.
Definitely more than what I could have done when I first come in.
My type 2 diabetes is gone, and I'm feeling fantastic. Yeah.
All right, gang. You guys are the last men standing in this training group. And this is last chance training, your first triathlon. Biggest Loser style. Today's triathlon will revolve around 2,000 metres of rowing, 8 kilometres of cycling, and a 4-kilometre run. 3 different disciplines, all with their own barriers to have to push through. You've got immunity, but I'm going to make sure you keep it honest in this training session. You are up against all 3. Can you deliver the goods? I believe you can.
Absolutely.
All right, boys, so on your mark, get set, go. The first leg is the rowing machine, as fast as they can. These guys are going to have to grind it out. Long, powerful strokes. Every stroke is getting you closer to the finals.
I think I've only ever done about 1 kilometre on the rowing machine. You know, 1.5 kilometres I was really starting to struggle.
I believe you can knock them off. I believe you can stay above the yellow line. I believe you've lit a fire in yourself that you never even knew existed.
2,000 metres on a roll machine does hurt a lot. Every major muscle in your leg's working very hard. I was in all kind of pain.
Go, Rick! Yes! Beautiful job. Beautiful work. 2 more to go. Nice work. All right, hit the bike. Good job.
After doing 2,000 metres on a roll machine, I could hardly even walk. The last thing I wanted to do was get up onto a spin bike.
Great. Chest up, shoulders back. David right now is in such a positive place, so much so that he let Rick take immunity because he believes this week is his. I need to keep David in this place. You think differently, you train differently. Very different man to the man that walked in here.
Man's dead, Mish. Killed him off a while ago now. I'm not scared to back myself. You know, I believe that I can do this and I believe that I can win this thing. Come weigh in.
They both jumped on those bikes and went for it. 8 kilometres went like that. Go, Dave. Last 10 seconds. You're there, mate. You're there. 3, 2, yeah. Spin bike done. We now move to the last leg of the triathlon, the treadmill. Due to the nature of Dave's injury, he can only walk for 2 Ks. So the last leg of his triathlon will look slightly different to Rick's. Push it out. 4 Ks, mate. 4 Ks and you're done.
My legs felt like jelly. I knew I was going to be struggling to run 4 kilometres.
All right, Dave, you're just about done with your 2 Ks. Excellent. Good job, man.
When I completed the triathlon in that session, I saw that Rick still had 2 kilometres to go, so I jumped straight on the spin bike and wanted to basically finish it with him.
Well done, mate. Triathlon's finished and you're still going.
Turning that into a decathlon, Mish.
Last K, we're going to take that speed up to 10.5, yeah? You can do it, mate. You can do it.
I was struggling. I just had to refocus on the job at hand and get positive.
All right, you want to get this done? Let's get it done. Go, Ricky. Go over that finish line with pride, mate. That's the way. You are a machine. 4 kilometres. Yeah.
At the end of the session, I was completely spent. I had no energy left, but I was satisfied with what I did.
Unreal. I know you're going to have a great week this one.
Thanks, Mish. That session was just what I needed coming into weigh-in, and I'm pretty confident that I can be above that yellow line.
After last chance training, Lisa, Phoebe and I had a chat in the dining room just to really find out if our heads were all in the same space.
We need Dave to be below that line this week. It's imperative.
Lisa, Phoebe and I would love absolutely nothing more than to be part of the Final Four at finale. And the only way we can do that is to get Dave below that yellow line.
So if Dave is below and we get to vote and he goes, the tables will have turned somewhat.
Definitely.
And we want to be here.
Yeah.
We want it. This week we've put ourselves in the best possible position to, have 2 of us above the line.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And worst case scenario, it's 2 of us below and we don't really have the decision anyway.
If I'm under the yellow line this week with either Phoebe or Shannon, I'm the first one to go. I've never wanted to be perceived as a threat, but the reality is that I am, and I do have potential to lose nearly 50% of my body weight.
Well, we all know we've put in the work. Yeah. So whatever will be, will be. I'm definitely confident that one of us will push Dave under the yellow line. I just don't know which one.
With Rick having immunity, I guess I'm out on my own against Lisa, Shannan and Phoebe, and you know, I guess I've got a 50-50 chance of falling below that yellow line, but I've also got a 50% chance of being above that yellow line, which is, you know, what I'm looking at. I think I've done the work. I'm feeling extremely positive and confident, knowing that I've done everything this week, so I'm hoping for a good result at weigh-in.
Whether I'm in Camp Biggest Loser or out in the bush here with Commando, a weigh-in's a weigh-in, and like usual, I'm nervous, and I just don't like weighing in because it's a scary time to see what you're going to lose.
After last week's debacle, putting on 4.9 kilos, I'd really put myself under a heap of pressure. But I've got to come in here this week thinking, well, I'm not done yet. I've got to get a positive result and get back on my horse and get back on track.
Phil, Joe, at your last weigh-in, we saw poor results. Joe, what happened last week?
Wasn't my best week, but yeah, just let things slide a little bit. Hopefully I'll make it up this week.
Phil, what happened last week?
I think the change of environment rocked me, sir, and I let my diet slip. It was just deplorable, it was.
I've trained you hard, I've pushed you hard. So this week, there should be no excuses. I'm expecting big results. It's time for your second weigh-in, away from Camp Biggest Loser. Joe, get up here.
Good luck, Joey.
Getting up on them scales, Commando said to me that he wants to see all the hard work that we put in pay off, and I was thought to myself, this is going to be embarrassing if I either put weight on or don't pull a good number, and I was worried to see what I was going to pull.
Joe, last week you weighed 122.5 kilos. This week you weigh... Joe, last week you weighed 122.5 kilos. This week you weigh...
Jeez, well done, Joey.
Yeah.
Good on you, mate. It's unreal,
Jesus,
mate.
Philly.
That is fantastic.
That's a total weight loss of 7.2 kilos. That gives you a weight loss percentage of 5.9%.
Great, mate. Biggest loser of the week, I reckon. I thought I'm in trouble here. I was happy for him, but it put me under even more pressure, thinking, what number am I going to get?
Did that result meet your expectation?
Oh, and some, yeah.
To lose 7.2, yeah, it's been tough out here, but it's paid off, and all the pain we've gone through, it just shows that it works, and I was just over the moon for that.
Good on you, Joey.
Yeah,
Great
thanks,
stuff,
mate.
It's fantastic. It's your best result.
Yeah.
After I'd weighed in, it was Phil's turn, and I thought to myself, this might be a bit interesting. He's worked extremely hard this week, but you know, his mind's just quite not there yet.
Phil, you're up.
Right, sir. Thanks, Joey.
Phil, last week you weighed 99 kilos. This week you weigh 91.2 kilos.
Oh, yeah! Proud to be a bulldog! Loyalty, passion, courage! God for that. God for that, sir.
That gives you a total weight loss of 7.8 kilos. And that gives you a weight loss percentage of 7.9%.
Jeez, that's fantastic. I really needed it, I really did, but it was just a huge relief. And 7.8 kilos and a great percentage, I was back on track, you know. I'd picked up 600 grams on Joey, which is more than I ever imagined I would.
What do you think of that result?
Oh, it's terrific, sir. After last week, I was down and out, and it just goes to show this week, you know, Joey and I put our heads down and got into it, and it got the result, thank God.
How did you manage to bring it back?
Well, I tried to accept where I was, I think, sir. The first thing, try to accept the new elements and the new type of training from yourself, and just tried to get down to basics again and try and watch my diet particularly and focus on what I was doing before.
All right, let's go.
All right, thanks, sir.
That's a ripper, mate.
Thanks, Joey.
Wow.
What a relief, mate.
Yeah.
See, after last week. I really thought I was done and dusted last week, and it's a matter of now of trying to stay focused and keep my mind on the job at hand.
All right, boys. You took the hard work on the chin, and it's paid off. Well done. But remember, it doesn't end here. Now get back to camp and have a good night's rest.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Definitely prepared for more hard training. Actually looking forward to it now, and if I can keep training hard like that, hopefully I can keep losing 7 kilos every week.
The days out here are definitely long and they're definitely tough, and the training doesn't really get any easier, although you do adjust to it better. But I got a feeling this old dog has still got a bit more left in him yet.
Walking into the weigh-in room, I was feeling really nervous. I had no idea how well I'd done this week. You just never know when you step on those scales.
And all I can think is every week this is getting harder and harder, and it really is coming down to hundreds of grams between us all. But in this particular weigh-in, there's only 2 spots up for grabs, and I hope I'm one of them.
With just 5 of you remaining, the competition here at Camp Biggest Loser is getting tougher by the day. But the longer you're here, the more serious a contender you become for the title of the Biggest Loser. Rick, you took the pressure off yourself when at Temptation you ate close to 3,000 calories to win immunity. This means your position is safe for another week. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the rest of you.
With only 5 people left in the house, weigh-ins are going to be tight, and I'm glad I got immunity.
Soon, the 4 of you will be split right down the middle. 2 of you above the yellow line and 2 below. And with the field being so tight, no one can be absolutely certain of where they'll place. No doubt, all of you would like more time here at Camp Biggest Loser. But the question is, have you done enough to earn your keep? Well, contestants, that's what we're about to find out. It's time to weigh in. Rick, because you have immunity this week, you'll be the first to weigh in. Come on up. Good luck, matey. Good luck, mate. Good luck. Smash 110.
Walking up to the scales is usually nerve-wracking, but this week I've got immunity, so it makes it a little bit easier.
Rick, last week you weighed 111.1 kilos. Your current weight is 111.6 kilos.
He's put on weight.
Rick, last week you weighed 111.1 kilos. Your current weight is 111.6 kilos. That's a gain of 500 grams.
He's put on weight.
And that's a gain of 0.45% of your body weight.
When I seen that I put on 500 grams, I was really gutted. I knew I could have done a bit more, and the fact that I got up there and put on weight, it really shocked me.
Rick, according to the Biggest Loser rules, because you have gained weight, you've been stripped of immunity. This means you are now eligible for elimination.
he'd put on weight. 1/2 kilo. That means one of the biggest competitors here is now potentially under the line. This is big.
In fact, the only way that you won't fall below the yellow line is if 2 of your fellow contestants gain more weight than you.
All I could think was, what the hell is going on? How the hell has he put on weight?
Rick, what's going through your head?
Trying to figure out what happened.
Training, diet, did that change this week?
My training changed a little bit. I was doing more weights, which I didn't think at this stage of the competition would put on weight, but it doesn't look good.
If your brother Joe was standing up there right now, what do you think he would say?
He'd probably be a bit disappointed, I think.
Rick, how much would it mean to you to be here at the end with your brother Joe?
It'd mean everything. We come into this competition together. We've been together our entire life. And I wanted him to change his life. I didn't want to have to bury my twin. Or him bury me. It hurts me so much to let my brother down because, I promised him I'd stay here as long as I could and do everything I could. I got complacent, I got immunity, and instead of staying here for another week when I had it pretty much guaranteed, I put on weight, and so therefore I let him down.
Thanks, Rick. You can step down.
Seeing Rick up on those scales, as disappointed and as devastated as he was, I could feel for him. I was feeling the same. We're tied in the house. He's my best friend in the house. We've basically structured a plan to go forward and for our longevity in the house, and everything had just turned to rubbish, and I was just shattered for him, and it was just devastating.
Next to weigh in will be David. David, come on up.
Thanks, Harley. After seeing Rick weigh in, I was just feeling totally gutted. I had no confidence in what I might post on those scales. I know how hard Rick had worked during the week and saw he put on weight, and I was extremely nervous and just really not wanting to weigh in.
David, last week you weighed 107.8 kilos. Your current weight is... 103.5 kilos. That gives you a loss of 4.3 kilos and a total weight loss percentage of 3.99%. Well done.
Thanks, Harley.
And David, that puts you into first place.
Thank you.
When Dave got on those scales, I was hoping that he wasn't going to be a big number, but as Dave always does, he got up there and he lost a good number, and 3.99% at this stage of the game is absolutely fantastic.
David, visibly relieved?
Oh, I'm relieved, Hayley. I'm just still a bit flat after Rick's result, but I'm over the moon with mine. I may not show it, but I am.
David, there's no doubt you're constantly dropping big numbers each week. Surely you can say now that you're a threat in this competition?
I thought I said that last week, Hayley.
No, you didn't admit to it.
Oh, look, I guess I'm a threat in the competition, but I do say as much as anyone else.
David, do you think you could win the title of the Biggest Loser?
Look, anything's possible, Hayley. I don't know how much weight I've got left. I'm feeling fantastic. But yeah, I'm in with a shot.
I think Dave's been a threat since day one. I think Dave knows he's a threat. He just isn't as easily coaxed into putting it out there.
Good work. Knew you would do it.
Love to give you 600 grams, mate.
Next up on the scales will be Lisa. Lisa, come on up.
After the shock of Rick, by the time I got caught up, I was like, gosh, anything can happen in this game, and you just can't underestimate what your body's going to do. So I didn't know what the numbers were going to pull, but I was hoping it was enough to stay above this week.
Lisa, last week you weighed 81.5 kilos. Your current weight is 78.6 kilos. That gives you a loss of 2.9 kilos and a percentage weight loss of 3.56%, and currently puts you into second place. Lise, 2.9, is that what you're expecting?
You know, to get nearly 3 at this late stage, and oh my God, I'm 78.
Congratulations. Lisa, are you finally starting to love yourself now?
I think I'm definitely getting there, Hayley. You know, I've come a long way, especially the last probably 2 weeks here. And the fact that I love the fact that I want to live my life now and do the things with my kids that I haven't done means that I'm going to love myself. It still feels very foreign to me to say that I'm beginning to like who I am and love myself, but it's nice to actually acknowledge that I can feel good about myself and that that's okay and it's acceptable.
Contestants, we've now passed the halfway mark of this weigh-in, and now there's just 2 people left to weigh in, Shannan and Phoebe. And as we've seen with Rick, who's gained weight and lost immunity, anything can happen. Next to weigh in will be Phoebe. Phoebe, in order to beat Lisa and stay safe here at Camp Biggest Loser for another week, you need to lose at least 3 kilos.
I feel like I've had a really good week, and I feel like the positive energy is probably going to help me a little bit, but 3 kilos does seem very big.
Well, let's see if you've done enough. Come on up. Phoebe, last week you weighed 82.5 kilos. Your current weight is Phoebe, last week you weighed 82.5 kilos. Your current weight is 80.3 kilos. That gives you a loss of 2.2 kilos and a percentage weight loss of 2.67% and puts you into 3rd place. Well done. Rick, this is official now. You are under the yellow line and will be facing elimination.
When it was confirmed that I'm below the yellow line, you know, it's the first time I've ever been there. It's at my own fault, my own peril, and I wasn't too happy about it.
Phoebe, 2.2 kilos, is that what you're expecting?
To be honest, I really wanted 2.6 to get under the 80s, but that just gives me something to aim for next week, so I'll smash through it.
You said you saw your mum at makeover. How was that?
It was the best. I forgot how cool she was.
You're beautiful, more beautiful. And it's nice to see this big smile. You just look so fantastic.
Definitely the longest time I've been without seeing her. It's just having that slice of home. It made me so excited, and it was the best feeling to see her and see how proud she was.
What was it like to finally say sorry to your mum?
It was, you know, quite an emotional moment, you know. But I feel really good about it. I think it shows the quality of person I've become while being here, that, you know, I can recognise where I went wrong and say sorry, and I know that Mum's never going to hold that against me, you know. She's not that kind of person.
Who do you think is the biggest threat currently in this competition?
Probably Lisa.
So do you think you can take Lisa on?
I'm going to give it my best shot. I'll take Lisa on. I will take you on.
So game on?
Game on.
I definitely think everyone underestimates Phoebe in this game. She can lose 50% of her body weight, and she can be a massive threat. And I think everyone needs to start realising that.
The last person to weigh in will be Shannan. Shannan, to beat Phoebe and stay above the yellow line, you need to lose at least 4.1 kilos.
I was petrified. I knew that I wanted to lose at least 5, but I've had a couple of big weeks. To then back that up with a 5, it's going to be hard.
Well, Shannan, it's time to weigh in. Come on up. Shannan, last week you weighed 150.6 kilos. Your current weight is 145.1 kilos. That gives you a loss of 5.5 kilos and a total weight loss percentage of 3.65% and puts you into 2nd place. Well done, Shannan.
Thanks, Carl.
Shan, 5.5 kilos. You look happy, relieved, excited.
Oh yeah, little mixture of all three. This is the least amount I've lost since I got here. I would have loved to have stayed in the 6s and above the entire time, but it's not a chance I'm going to complain about 5.5 kilos. And you know, I'm in the 140s now for the first time since the 90s. The fact that I'm only 24 years old and for the last 24 years pretty much haven't been able to participate in everything that someone my age should, it sucks. But I can guarantee you that I won't take any day for granted for the rest of my life.
David, congratulations. You are this week's biggest loser. This is now the 3rd time that you've claimed this honour. Well done.
Probably of the 3 times that I've been biggest loser of the week now, this is the one I was most proud of. To know that I can back myself and deliver on the words is a pretty good feeling.
Rick and Phoebe, unlike David, you have no reason to celebrate today. Unfortunately, both of you will be facing elimination.
I think the fact that I've been under the line so many times, in fact more often than not, has really kept me safe here. It means that people don't view me as a threat.
Best of luck, everyone, and I'll see you at elimination.
Thanks, Hayley.
I think in this game now, everyone needs to start voting strategically. Phoebe's a bigger threat than me.
I'm pretty sure I'm most likely going to be the swing vote here. I think Lisa will stay true to Phoebe, and I think Dave will stay true to Rick. And it's really going to come down to the decision I come up with, because the 2 people that are up for elimination are the 2 that I'm closest to.